Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
जय
Ram
श्री
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
चैतन्य
Hare
प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत
Hare
गदाधर
Krishna Krishna
शिवासादि
Hare Ram Ram
जय श्री
Hare
कृष्ण चैतन्य
Hare
प्रभु
Krishna
नित्यानंद श्री
Krishna Hare
अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
Hare Krishna everyone. So today is Saturday, 2nd of March. It is Falguna Masa or Govinda Masa, Krishna Paksham and Saptami Tithi. So there are no Vaishnavas today. So we shall quickly move into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj and describing the Virat Rupa form of the Lord and how these 14 planetary systems situated within the body of the Supreme Lord in the Virat form. अंडकोशे शरीरेऽस्मिन् सप्तावरणं संयुते वैराजः पुरुषो यो असौ भगवान् धारणाश्रयः. A materialistic absorbed person who has to meditate on the form. Vairajah purusho yo asau. What is that one? Andakoshe shariresmin saptavarana samyute. So in the universe, the form which is the Virat Rupa form, within this universe, the universe is covered by the Saptavaranam, and that form is contains so many planetary systems, starting from the feet, the toes. That is Patalametasthi Padamulam Patanti Pasni Prapade Rasatalam Mahatalam Viswasujo Ata Bulpau Talatalam Vai Purushasya Jange. So in the sole of the feet, so there is a Patalaloka, and then in the toes there is Rasatalam, and also in the ankles Mahatalam, and in the shanks that is the Talatalam. The four planet systems Sukadeva Goswami he was mentioning yesterday. So today he is mentioning further planetary systems. So he says that the next is the Stutala Loka, which is in the knees, and then Atalam and Vitalam. These two planetary systems existing in the thighs, and then Mahitalam that is the existing in the hips, Mahitalam, and then the space or the sky existing under his navel, and also on his chest. There are Bhuvarloka and Suvarloka existed on top of it. Maharloka is in the uh, Maharloka. So on the on the neck, and also on top of that, uh, there are Tapoloka, and then on top of it, it is Satyaloka. Likewise, he is saying about the Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, and all the planetary systems. So we are in the second canto and chapter 1 and verse number 27 and 28. द्वे जानुनी सुतलं विश्वमूर्ते ऊरुद्भयं वितलं च अतलं च महीतलं तज्जगनं महीपते नभस्तलं नाभिसरो गृह्णन्ति द्वे जानुनी सुतलं विश्वमूर्तेः. And in the two knees of the Lord, dve januni, the two knees of the Lord, Sutalam Vishwamurte, and the Sutala planet is situated. Sutala is the planet where the Bali Maharaj is also existed. Dvejanoni Sutalam Vishwamurtehe, Urudvayam Vitalam cha Atalam cha. Urudvayam, in the two thighs, Urudvayam, Vitalam cha Atalam cha, the two planet systems, Vitala Loka and Atala Loka. Atalam cha, Vitalam. And then Mahitalam tad Jaganam Mahipate. Mahitalam is situated in the tad Jaganam, in the hips of the Lord. Mahipate, O king, Mahipate, O Parikshit. So he is saying, tad Jaganam. So Mahitalam tad Jaganam. Nabastalam Navi Saro Ghunanti. In the navel, this is the Nabhastalam, all the space. Nabha is the sky. Nabha. So Nabha is the outer space. Nabhastalam. Navi Saro Ghunanti. The depression of the navel. And the Lord is situated. They take it so. Here it Grunanti. Grunanti, who Grunanti? Patanti, who knows about all this? Studying the Virat Rupa form of the Lord. Patanti, they take it. Grunanti, they studied like the form of the Lord in the Virata form. Dve Januni Sutalam Vishwamurtehe, Urudhvayam Vitalam cha Atalam cha, Mahitalam ta Jaganam Mahipate, Nabhastalam Navi Saro Grunanti. So, the knees of the universal form are the planetary systems of the name Sutala, and the two thighs are the Vitala and Atala planetary systems. The hips are Mahitala, and outer space is the depression of his navel. And further, Sukadeva Goswami, he says, Vurasthalam Jyotiranikamastya Griva Mahar Vadanam Vai Jano Asya Tapovaratim Viduradi Pumsaha Satyam Tu Seshnani Sahasra Seshnaha. Vurasthalam, it is the chest. So in the Vurasthalam, which is highly raised, the broader chest, Vurasthalam Jyotihi Anikamasya. Jyotihi Anikamasya, the luminary planets. Vurasthalam Jyotiranikamastya. And Griva Mahar Vadanam Vai Jano Asya. Griva is the neck of the Lord. In there, Mahar, all the plant systems above luminaries. That is the Mahar Loka is there. And Vadanam Vai Jano Asya. Vadanam, on his mouth. Jano Asya. Vadanam Vai Jano Asya. This is the Janaloka. Vadanam Vai Jano Asya. Tapo Varatim. And the Tapoloka is in the Varatim. Varatim is the forehead. Viduradi Pumsaha and Viduhu Adi Pumsaha. And likewise, these great scholars, they understand all this Virat form of the Lord. Viduhu Adi Pumsaha. Satyantu Seshnani Sahasa Seshnaha. And on top of it, the Satyaloka. Satyam tu Seshnani Sahasra Seshnaha. Sahasra Seshna is the with so many thousands of heads. That is the Virat Rupa of the form. And it is situated in the Satyaloka. Our Satyaloka is situated within the Lord's the head, where Sahasra. So likewise, Sukadeva go. Vurasthalam Jyotir Anikamasya Griva Maharvadanam Vai Jano Asya Tapovaratim Vidradi Pumsaha Satyam tu Seshnani Sahasra. So this form, it is very, very beautiful. So here it is also mentioned just to just to show in the pictorial representation. It is very beautiful to share that one. So this is the beautiful form of the Viswarupa of the form. So here Patala Loka is there, and then Rasatala, Talatala, and so these are mentioned. Patala, Rasatala, Mahatala. This is the Mahatala, and then this is the Talatala, Patala, Rasatala, and then Mahatala, and then Talatala. This is the 4 planet systems, and Sutala. So here there is the Vamana is here with the small umbrella, that is the Sutala Loka. And on top of it, the Vitala and so Vitalamcha, Atalamcha. These are the two Vitalamcha, Atalamcha, 2 planetary systems. And then further above, there is a Mahitalam. Mahitalamcha, and then further, this is the Navi. This is the space, outer space in the navel, deep navel. And Vurastalam Jyotiraniikamasya, and this is the chest. All the luminary planetary systems in the chest part. Vurastalam Jyotiraniikamasya, Griva Mahar Vadanam Vai Januasya. And then next, there is the Maharloka, Griva, and then on top of that, Januasya. So I think somewhere here above the neck it is mentioned. Vadanam Vai Januasya, Tapovaratim. Varatim is the forehead. And forehead is the Tapoloka, and then on top of the head is the Brahmaloka, the Satyaloka. So these are the form of the Lord. And here in the mouth, in the nose, there are 2 Ashwini Kumaras are there, and from the mouth there is the 5, and from the 2 eyes there is a day and night. So they are in the 2 eyes, and also there are different parts of Virat Rupa of the form. So these are all explained here, and we shall also look into this one later on. Okay, this is the Virata form. And here, when we go further down, it is also, these verses have been explained properly in this. Virat form, and there is another picture also. It explains all the form of the Lord. Okay, this is the another form. This is the another form of the Lord. So depicting from all the verses and a pictorial representation of the Lord with all the Sahasra Sesha, and then within the Satyaloka itself, Brahma and also Vishnu and also Maheshwara all existing within this universe, but they also existed outside the universe. But yeah, this is a Sahasra Sesha depicting so many heads here. So that is likewise Sukadeva Goswami saying to Parikshit Maharaj. द्वे सुतलं विश्वमूर्तेः ऊर्ध्वयं वितलं च अतलं च महीतलं तज्जगन्महीपते नभस्थलं नाभि सरो गृह्णन्ति वरस्थलं ज्योतिरनेकमस्य ग्रीवामहर्वदनं वै जनो अस्य तपोवराटिं विदुरादिपुंसः सत्यं तु शेषणानि सहस्रशीर्ष्णः. So for this Sasnasisha, the chest of the original personality of the gigantic form is the luminary planetary systems. His neck is the Maharloka planets. His mouth is the Jana planet. And his forehead is the Tapa planetary systems, Tapas. And the topmost planet system known as Satyaloka is the head of he who has 1000 heads. And purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request unallocated devotees on Saturday? Prabhavati Mataji, would you like to read this purport?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Purport by, sorry, one second. I'm reading from the book, Prabhuji. Purport by Srivanga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The effulgent luminary planets like the sun and the moon are situated almost in the mid-place of the universe, and as such they are to be known as the chest of the original gigantic form of the Lord. And above the luminary planets, called also the heavenly places of the universal directorate demigods, are the Mahar, Janas, and Tapas planetary systems, and above all the Satyaloka planetary system, where the chief directors of the modes of material nature resides, namely Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. This Vishnu is known as the Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, and he acts as the super soul in every living being. There are innumerable universes floating on the causal ocean, and in each of them the representation of the Virat form of the Lord is there, along with innumerable suns, moons, heavenly demigods, Brahmas, Vishnus, and Shivas, all, all of them situated in one part of the inconceivable potency of Lord Krishna, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, 42 verse. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Sri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. So here Prabhupada is explaining all these planet systems. And here Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, they are situated within the Satyaloka. So this is the Satyaloka where Brahma and Vishnu also existed. I think one of the picture is also having that Lord is existing in the Satyaloka. Vishnu and also Shiva is also, they are situated in the Satyaloka of this particular universe. And one has to meditate on that form of the Virat form. So who is materially absorbed, he needs to meditate on this form. It is going to the okay. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, this is whenever Krishna explained to Arjuna about this verse, Vishtabhyaham idam Krishnam ekamshena sito jagat अथवा बहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्टभ्याहम idam Krishnam ekamshena sito jagat. Everything comes from only one part of Krishna's expansion. Eka amshena, just with one amsha only. And all is the different innumerable universes, they're floating in the casual ocean. Yasyekadisvisido kalamatavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanadah. So that is all these things coming from the breath of the Mahavishnu. And he is just like a only one amsha of the Krishna. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. This is for materialistic person to meditate on the Virat form here. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Dve jaruni sutalam vishwamurtehe urudbhayam vitalam cha atalam cha mahitalam tad jaganam mahipate nabhastalam nabi saro gurunanti urasthalam jyotiranikamasya greva mahar vadanam vai jano asya tapovaratim vidradipum saha satyam tu seshnani sahasra seshnaha. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Shall move on to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Mukunda, January 15th, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request Sanchita Mataji, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My dear Mukunda, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated January 10th, 1970, and it is understood that the St. Giles of the Field School is available on rent. Now you have asked my instructions in this connection. The first thing is that suppose we occupy the big house, what will happen to the present house which you have taken on lease agreement for 3 years? The present house being situated in a very important place, we have to think that by vacating this house, we shall be losing a grand situation. Under the circumstances, even though we occupy the big schoolhouse, whether we can utilize the present house or we shall keep this house as it is going on, we shall make another big attempt in the big house. So you have to consult amongst yourself what to do in this connection. Now, before occupying the house, it must be thoroughly repaired by the owner. And I see that you have made a condition to grant 8,000, is it dollars?
Yes,
L
ma'am.
8,000. Okay. For repair. If it is thoroughly repaired then it will be a grand house for our purposes. The next thing is, if you are in a position to pay $1,000 per month. Okay, so far I know your collection at the present moment is at the rate of 40 to 50 per day. Now, if you occupy the house, whether it will be possible for you to collect more money for some device of prasad distribution or otherwise. The idea is to make the big establishment in the big house. You will have to collect at least $100 per day by some means or others. The next point is whether it will be possible to take the big house on lease with the option of purchase. The price is presently fixed at 80,000. Now, if there is some arrangement with options to purchase, we can secure the money to pay 80,000. We can pay them 80,000. The money already paid to them in lieu of rent should be deducted. In this connection, a time limit may be set up within which we may be able to secure 80,000 and pay them less the amount already paid in lieu of rent. I think on the basis of the this basis of the negotiation will be all right. So far, reference for bank, I have got some money for printing my books, and if required, I can arrange such reference from my banker. That can be arranged. What happened to the parcels from Bombay for the Manjiras in the Lloyds Bank? If you have received the consignment, you can send me one pair here. I want to see how they are. Please inform Yamuna Devi that I have her nice letter and I shall reply it in due course. Also offer my blessings to all devotees, Janaki, Malati, and all others. Ask Gurudas to send me some pictures of the installation ceremony, and some of them may be directly sent to Boston for publications in PTG. Our book Isopanishad is already out, and you can send orders to ISKCON Books for this item. It is very nice. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Postscript: I have not as yet received payment from George for my Krishna book. Please let me know what happens. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Okay, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
So Prabhu here, in this letter, Prabhupada is asking Mukunda about the different possibilities they can do. They had a house where they used to worship as a temple, and that was a smaller area, and they had got hold of a bigger place, but the small place was in a very important location. So Prabhupada was deciding what should we go, because the present location they were still on lease for 3 years, so they didn't want to lose that situation, that place. So he was thinking whether we should carry on here or move to the big house. So and then Rupad mentioned that on the new house it needs some repairs. We have to ask, I mean, he's basically getting into the details how to move on to the big place, like the repairs that needs to be done. We have to ask the owner the amount of money required to do that, and he was giving details of daily how much is spent on that, and monthly if you have to do. So he was doing the different calculations, and not only that, he needs to save for money for prasadam distribution. So he was giving the devotee a grand picture of how to proceed with these things. And then he said the best is if possible we can save some money and then buy the place instead of having it on lease. So if they are going to buy the place, property, then it will be $80,000. So they said if we are able to save that money, then we will, and then the rent we have paid, we can deduct that from that, and going forward they can buy that property. And in this connection, he said, I can do the references and the connections with the bank to get it sorted. And also he mentioned that he asked him about the parcel from Bombay, which included the manjiras. He said if it has the consignment had arrived, then he can send. Prabhupada wanted to see how the manjiras are. And he sent his best regards to the other devotees over there. Also mentioned that the book Upanishad is already out. He mentioned that it has been done very nicely. That's all, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So Prabhupada is each and every part is instructing and suggesting and also asking welfare of devotees. Thank you so much, Mataji, from this letter. Any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
I
Krishna.
think this letter is good learning about how Prabhupada is such a good manager about finances and thinking about where you should have the centers, where you should be situated for the public and invite them. I think it's so beautiful. It's good learning for us how we can take away how to manage our affairs. And he's always right on the ball, actually. If I remember, he was one of his disciples was saying that, Prabhupada wanted to propagate some very, very derelict area in America, and they had hardly any money. And on this occasion, there was no money in the pot, but he told the devotees at the time to go and get a board so we can put a sign up that we're having something out tonight. And they screamed and said, "We have no money." And Prabhupada said, "Go and get it." And so they got it, by hook and crook. And then when they got it, they put the board and they drew a lot of big crowd. And when the crowd came, they put a pot for donation, and they got more than they could ever bargain for. So, he had such skills and expertise. And he's teaching these wild suggestion. Let's go and get this big place, and it's available, and not thinking about the cost and the effort that has to be put in, and what for. We would not draw the crowd in areas like this. So why don't we settle? And also he had 3 years of lease, isn't that right? On this present premise, which was situated in such a good area. And why would we waste 3 years money or 2 years money, whatever time they were into that? So, he was so special, and he promoted amazing things. And from scratch, it's such a beautiful effort that he put into it. Thank you. It's good learning for our own home and our own affairs. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Any other comments, dear devotees?
Prabhu, just wanted to ask, the L here, I just had doubt. Is it a
Maybe
dollar
pound.
or some other?
Maybe pound symbol looks like L symbol, kind of that.
Okay.
I assume, I don't know.
Okay.
It could be either dollar or pound, but anyway. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, from the announcements point of view, so today evening at 7 o'clock, we have got our special session with the guest speaker, Krishna Keshav Prabhuji. He is going to speak from Vrindavan and to all of us. He is waking up very early and early morning UK time, and in India time. So let us all give some kind of respect to that session as well, and attend and then take pleasure to hear Nityananda Prabhu's pastimes. Okay, just that is a request. That is from the announcements point of view from me. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything, kindly share before we move on to the Chatashloki Bhagavata. Jai Krishna.
Prabhu, just an update. Keshav Prabhu just sent a message saying that is it possible for him to talk about Bhakti Saraswati Swami? He was asking. So
yes, Prabhuji, yeah, that is fine. Whatever he wished to speak.
Okay, Prabhu. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any other updates?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. You know this, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you know the sloka we just read on there, like saying there was like many planets and many Shiva and Vishnu. So it's like there is so many different planets and still like, so we are in one planet, but there is another planet, number of another planets and things like that.
Yes, Mataji. So this is Vishwarupa form. Vishwarupa the JPG. So I think this is very beautiful one. It is coming in this PDF, but in the HTML, I don't know if it comes. It was coming very nicely in the other page. Yeah. So here in this Virat form, so this is every part of the body, every limb of the body of the Lord. So one planet system is existed. Is your question any specific, Mataji, you wanted to know?
Yeah, I'm saying there's many different, like there's a number of planets, like Prabhupada like said in that. So there is so many different planet, and there is different, like there's a Shiva and like Vishnu, and there was another planet. Same thing, whatever happening here, like Kali Yuga, Sati Yuga, or something like
Yes.
Treta Yuga. So something in other planet also same thing happening like that.
Yes, Mataji. So we are in one egg, and there are so many eggs. So all our planet system is situated in one Andakosha.
Okay, so somewhere here we have Kali Yuga, so on other planet maybe there is the other
Satyuga,
people.
Dwapara, yes, different
Yes.
time period. Yes. Just it
Yes,
is also we see in our day-to-day perspective. For example, a small example is the chicken. They lay the eggs. One chicken is doing one thing, and another one is doing something else. So every moment there are different things.
Mhm.
Like
Okay. It's amazing and it's different.
yes, Mataji.
Thank you.
So all these conceptions, understanding, digesting all the Krishna's potencies, then what we understand, we understand that our body is insignificant, our family and everything is insignificant in comparative to the Lord's potencies and how everything is going on. And at the same time, we are all situated as part of the Lord's creation and within his body, and we are not lost. So that is kalam eke eto bhayam. The time factor is making us to fear because we distinct and uh, distinguish the living entities based on their bodies. That is the fear to the living entity. When we don't see that distinguishing, uh, we don't distinguish the living entity, then we don't have got any fear at all. Kshemaya padamulammi akuto bhayam. We enter into that Vaikuntha. That is the transcendence to the three material modes of nature.
So there may be like unrememberable of Goloka, Vaikuntloka and everything.
So Goloka is, there are unlimited Vaikuntha lokas on top of all the Vaikuntha lokas, 50 crores of yojanas on top of all the Vaikuntha lokas. There is Goloka that we have seen in the Brahmavaivarta Purana, which is situated there, and its dimensions also have been mentioned. The Virja river length and also the mountain, Shatashringa mountains, and the Rasa Mandala, the Golok Vrindavana, how much space it is, and out of there, in between the Virja river and the mountain, there is a Rasa Mandala, and where Krishna is performing all his pastimes. Those things we could see all his pastimes in the Brahmavaivarta Purana vividly. That is on top of Vaikuntha planets.
So nice.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Mataji.
The pupils of his eyes, how can you explain the two different pictures and different colors?
Day and night.
Ah, right, Haribo. That's so nice. I've never seen that picture before.
And
The
from the
same.
mouth, there is a fire. This is the fire. And from the nose, there is Ashwini Kumaras. And from the ears, directions. And the neck, it is the Maharloka. And then this the mouth here also it is Janaloka, that is what is mentioned in this verse. So here in this description of here, all this we can find Bhagavad Gita descriptions and also Bhagavatam descriptions as well. So
So this is a Veda base, this page.
this is iskan-truth.com. It is mentioned here. So this is the verses is Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, first 27. So these are depicting the pictorial representation of these verses. This is the purport we have read.
Where is this information? Is it Veda base? You are showing from where do you showing this?
So in the Google, if we just find Virat Rupa
Okay.
and then ISKCON Truth,
Country.
Truth. There are few things, but don't give your attention to many things, but just only look what is needed. That is sufficient for us.
Okay.
For us to digest very few things, only we can focus on it. Otherwise, don't get deviated by looking at all other things.
Yeah.
It's far too much to comprehend one go, yeah.
Yes, Mataji, yes.
It's best to follow your classes and take little chunks of it, little doses.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments or any other questions? Okay, so we shall move into our Chatashloki Bhagavata. In that case, if there are no further. Hare Krishna. So before we again enter into Srimad Bhagavatam Chatashloki Bhagavata, we offer our obeisances to the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In the Chatashloki Bhagavata, that the Lord is speaking to Brahma. So about 4 shlokas and explaining that Aham evasam evagre nam yad yad sad asat param paschadaham yedetaccha yo hisheto swasmiham. I am the only one situated in all this time and circumstances. Pratyardham yat pratyeta na pratyet chatmani tad vidyat atmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tamaha. Anything is connection to me, only it has got its value. Anything else, it doesn't have any value. That is second statement. Third statement, yata mahanti bhutani bhuteshu chavacheshu pravishtani apravishtani tatateshu natveshu aham. Like all the material ingredients, they enter into the bodies of all the living entities, material bodies. At the same time, they are also separate. Likewise, I also exist within this universe and also outside of the universe. That is third statement. एतावद्येव जिज्ञासं तत्विज्ञासनात्मनः अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्यं यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा. And everyone's endeavor to search for the absolute truth, they have to come to the point that the conclusion is that I am the only ultimate destination to be known. Until they come, so their investigations and research, everyone, all the streams will keep on going. So that is ultimate absolute truth. Likewise, the Lord is saying to Brahma. And in the last verse, so this is the, we have been in the purport, which is a very long purport. All our acharyas, they have given, and Prabhupada is compactly giving in this purport, but we are taking journey within this. A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead must certainly search for it up to this point. That is, Krishna is the Vasudeva Sarvamiti in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly. That is Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabhaha. So that is the ultimate point. So within this purport, we have come to a point where even the animals, Ketas or germs and the small insects also they will get the attainment of the perfection of their life. So to elevate into their higher perfection of life. Kita pakshi mruganam cha haru sanyasta chetasam. Urdham eva gatim manye kim punah janinam runam. So even the worms, birds, beasts are assured of elevation to the highest perfection of life if they are completely surrendered to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So what to speak of the philosophers among us human beings? So likewise we ended. See how beautiful when we are thinking of even the Ketas Pakshi Mruganamcha, then we are highly conscious, developed consciousness living beings. So we shall continue this journey in the purport for this fourth shloka. So can I request dear devotees, please take turns to read the purport. Can I request any volunteers or who has not taken a turn for a long time? Yes, Mataji, please.
Therefore, there is no need to speak, seek properly qualified candidates for discharging devotional service to the Lord. Let them be either well behaved or ill trained. Let them be either learned or fools. Let them be either grossly attached or in the renounced order of life. Let them be liberated souls or desires of salvation. Let them be expert in the discharge of devotional service or expert in the same. All them can be elevated to the supreme position by discharging devotional service under the proper guidance. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9:30-32 as follows. Api chetasu sudacharo bhajate mam anayava tadureva cha mantya mantavyah samyak vyavastito hita mam hi pratha व्यपसृत्य येऽपि योऽन्वयः स्त्रियो वैश्यव्य तथा शूद्रस्तेऽपि यन्ति परं गतिम्.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here Prabhupada is saying, and when Prabhupada was giving lecture in that way, he was saying there are so many things, so many groups, so many societies, and why not to have Krishna consciousness party? So and it let all the people be happy. So let Krishna conscious devotees to occupy the positions and rule the world and let everyone be happy. So this is the broader vision of the pure devotees of the Lord. So let them be either well behaved or ill trained. Let them either be learned or fools. Let them either be grossly attached or in the renounced order. Let them believe. So he's saying, and then inexpert in discharge of devotions or expert in say, all of them can be elevated to the supreme position by discharging devotional service under the proper guidance. See, and that is the Krishna consciousness moment. And Prabhupada is bringing from Bhagavad Gita. All the even the sinful living beings are lower than anything or Sudra. So they are also can be elevated. Apiche Sudracharo Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhav Sadureva Samantavyaha Samyak Vyavhito Hi Saha Mam Hi Pada Vyapasritya Yepi Syuhu Papayonayaha Striyo Vaisya Tada Sudra Tepi Yanti Paramgatim. Everyone will be Paramgatim. They will attain the perfection of human life. And here Api says Sudracharo. And even some people, they fall down from their material devotional service. Bhajite Mam Ananya Bhak. But if they take on to the devotional service, we need to consider them Sadhureva Samantavyaha. This is also we see that some people they fall down with duracharo fall, and then but still we need to treat them from the personal perspective. So because that devotional service burn their sinful activities. Samyak vyavahito saha, in a that kind of vision. So can I request other devotee take a turn to read another paragraph? So this purport is linking to the fourth shloka of the Chatushloki Bhagavata.
I'll read, Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Even if a person is fully addicted to all sorts of sinful acts, if he happens to be engaged in the loving transcendental service of the Lord under proper guidance, he is to be considered the most perfect holy man without a doubt. And thus, any person, whatsoever and whosoever he or she may be, even the fallen woman, the less intelligent laborer, the dull mercantile man, or even a man lower than all this, can attain the highest perfection of life by going back home, back to Godhead, provided he or she takes shelter of the lotus feet of Lord in all in all earnestness. This sincere earnestness is the only qualification that can lead one to the highest perfectional stage of life. And unless and until such real uh, earnestness is aroused, there is a difference between cleanliness or uncleanliness, learning or non-learning. In the material, in learning or non-learning, in the material estimations, fire is always fire, and thus, if someone touches the fire, knowingly or unknowingly, the fire will act in its own way without discrimination. The principle is harier hariyati popani dusta chittayar api shamastha. The all-powerful Lord can purify the devotee of all sinful reaction, just as the sun can sterilize all sorts of infection by its power rays. Attraction for material enjoyment cannot act upon a pure devotee or of the Lord. There are hundreds and thousands of aphorisms in the revealed scriptures. Atmarasa cha muna munaya. Even the self-realized soul are also attracted by transcendental loving service of the Lord. Kachit Kivalaya Bhaktya Vasudeva Parayara. Simply by hearing and chanting, one become a great devotee of Lord Vasudeva. Na 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 nakalati Bhagavat Paravidal Lava Lavamishtham Api Vaishnavanscha. A person who does not move from the lotus feet of the Lord, even for a moment or a second, is to be considered the greatest of all Vaishnavas. Bhagavat Prasadam Prapate Mat Seva Pranitamte. The pure devotee are convinced of attaining the association of the personality of Godhead, and thus they are always sorry. The pure.
Sorry, Prabhuji, 1 second.
Thus, they are always engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Therefore, in all contents, in all all continent, in all planets and all universe, devotional service to the Lord or Bhakti Yoga is current, and that is the statements of the Srimad Bhagavatam and allied scriptures. Everywhere means in every part of the creation of the Lord. The Lord can be served by all the senses or even simply by the mind. The South Indian Brahman who served the Lord simply on the strength of his mind also factually realized the Lord. Success is guaranteed. Success is guaranteed for a devotee who fully engage any one of his senses in the mode of devotional service. The Lord can be served by any ingredient, even the most common commodity, a flower, a leaf, a fruit, or a little water, which are available in any part of the universe and without cost. And thus, the Lord is served universally by the universal entities. He can be served simply by hearing, he can be served simply by chanting or reading about his activities, he can be served simply by adoring him and accepting him. Haribol Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. It's a long paragraph. So Prabhupada here explaining about the transcendental service of the Lord under proper guidance. It must be executed. Then everyone will come to that platform. Either it is a fallen woman or less intelligent labor or a dull-minded mercantile or even a lower than all of these things or a chandala. So they will be elevated to the higher platform. So they can take the uh, provided or she takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord in all earnestness. That is so they need to surrender themselves what they wanted to do. Otherwise, if they have got a duplicity, they can't take it forward. They can't taste the fruits of the devotional service. So it will take again a couple of lifetimes to go there. And just like a fire, if touches by anyone, it acts in its own way, burn it without any discrimination. Likewise, this harihi harati papani dustachittaihi apismritaha. Whatever the sinful activities existing within a person, if he touches Krishna's name, and immediately all his sinful activities will be burned to the ashes. So all powerful Lord can purify the devotee of all sinful actions, just as sun sterilizes all sorts of the infections by its powerful rays. That is a very beautiful analogy. So that's why it is not only the sinful people, even the highestly elevated people. Atmarama Shamunayo Nirgrandapi Urukrame Kurvanti Aithrim Bhakti Mittam Bhudo Guno Harihe. That people also from in insignificant living entity to the highest elevated living. Everyone will be completely purified as soon as they touches with the Lord's name and his form and his qualities. मद्धर्मणो गुणैरेतैः परिशंशुद्ध आशयः पुरुषस्य अंजसाभ्येति सुतमात्र गुणं हि माम्. So just by hearing the Krishna's pastimes, but what is his desire? Parishamshuddha ashayah madharmano gunairetaihi. So just to hear about Krishna's pastimes, and he has to come with a parishamshuddha ashayah. Purushasya anjasabhyeti, and he needs to have such kind of endure. Purusha Sanjisabhyeti, he will attain Srutamatra Gunam Himam. So he just keep on hearing and hearing, just by the mood, keeping the Lord in the heart. And also Prabhupada mentioning just by transcending Kechit Kevalaya Bhaktya Vasudeva Parayanaha. Vasudeva Parayanaha. Just by hearing and chanting, one becomes a great devotee of the Lord Vasudeva. See, Nachalati Bhagavad Padaravinda. लवनानि मिषार्धमपि sa Vaishnavagriyah. A person who does not move from the lotus feet of the Lord, even for a moment or a second, is to be considered the greatest devotee of all Vaishnavas. So that devotees, whatever they speak, because they keep only the Lord, it comes true. The Lord makes those words come true in all certain times and circumstances. Brahma says that one. न भारते मेऽङ्गं रोपलक्ष्यते न वै क्वचिन्मे मनसो मुषागतिः न मे ऋषिकानि पतिंसत्पते yenne sudakon chavatadrito harihi, because they have updated, they have given all of their life, soul, body, everything to Krishna, keeping only the Lord in their heart, nothing else. So what Lord will do? He is bound up by his devotion. Whatever he speaks, he doesn't go wrong. That's why whenever we come across the devotees of the pure devotees of the Lord, either it is good or right, not good, it appears so outside. We need to take it like simply accepting those instructions, because they don't have anything else apart from the Lord in the heart. But Lord will make sure, even it is not right for that moment, it is appearing like that, or some person may not be agreeing for it, but we need to take it for as because it is a uh, Lord is speaking through that kind of devotee. So whatever Prabhupada has mentioned, it doesn't have any separate desires apart from Krishna. So likewise, all pure devotees are they have matkrute tyakta karmanha tyakta swajana bandhavaha. Even keeping the family aside and not giving much importance. Matkrute, just only for my sake, tyakta karmanaha. Even he stopped all of his material activities. So that is the Kurvanti Bhaktim. That is, Kapil Bhagavan says, in such a way, devotees they engage their life for the Lord. So, Lord will make sure that their words will not go vain and they don't have any personal desire. So, Prabhupada is further mentioning. So, this that's why these devotees they don't leave Krishna's lotus feet at any point of time. दौतात्मा पुरुषः कृष्णपादं कृष्णपादमूलं न मुञ्चति मुक्तसर्वपरिक्लेशः पान्तः स्वशरणं यथा. Just like a traveler, when he comes to his home and then he takes rest. Likewise, a living entity is traveling so many yonis, so many wombs of mothers of different kinds of species. Now he has come to the lotus feet of the original, the shelter. No? That's why Krishna Padamulam Namunchiti, he doesn't leave. Dautatma Purusha Krishna Padamulam Namunchiti. Mukta Sarup Parikleshaha, after so much of pains and tormented by this material nature. So this is Bhuyo Yata Vesanam Yetad Anekarandram Mami Bhavishiti Upasadita Vishnu Padaha. The baby, when we are in the womb at the 7 months, we pray to the Lord, saying that, oh my dear Lord, so at least now we will be making sure that we will engage ourselves in the devotional service. And I do not want Bhoyo Yata Vyasanam, the same habit of same bad habits. Bhoyo Yata Vyasanam, Yetad Anekarandram. And what is the bad habit? Entering into different wombs of different living entities again. Yetad Anekarandram. Mami Bhavshiti Upasadita Vishnupada. And please make sure, oh my dear Lord, I am begging for that. And I do not want to enter again. Mami Bhavshiti Upasadita Vishnupada. And my attainment is only keeping myself at lotus feet of Vishnupada. That is what he is praying. So that needs to be executed when we have got the material body. So that is only devotional service. Otherwise, it is not possible for the animals. Only human can give opportunity for the animals also engage this animal in the devotional service for different purpose. Everyone has got an opportunity. And further, Prabhupada is mentioning So that is the Bhakti Yoga. And then Prabhupada mentions everywhere means in every part of the creation of the Lord can be served by all the senses or even simply by the mind. And also Prabhupada giving one Indian Brahmana who served the Lord simply on the strength of his mind, also actually realized the Lord. So this is about a Brahmana who some kind of, he doesn't have got much to offer to the Lord. So what he used to do, he used to just in the mind, he used to cook with all nice palatable dishes and everything he used to offer within the mind. And then likewise, he has been doing on one day. On one day, in his mind, he was thinking, um, I have cooked this one. I think possibly this might be very hot if I just give it. And let me check whether it is too hot or not. And then he put his finger and then his finger burnt. And he felt that one in realistic life later on when he looked open in his eyes. And then it went. So this is the way that devotees they experience. That is the powerful. So what is coming from the mind? It is sankalpa vikalpabhyam vartate kama sambhavaha. And the first it is the willing, feeling, and then talking, and then coming into the existence by performing the activities. So, but the seed, everything is coming from in the very subtle level because the soul has got a desire, and when it has got these material ingredients, mind, intelligence, and ego, and then further, it has got another next level of the material ingredients, subtle elements, and then material. He performed those activities through the mind, and later on, when he got the material ingredients like body is made up of all these five: earth, water, and then fire, space, and then air, all these things like making hands and legs. He will using that mind. He used this instrument for different purposes to fulfill his desires. But where is the root cause? It is in the very subtle level at the soul, the desire, unlawful desire. But if a devotee comes to the pure Krishna consciousness, he engages all his activities, his mind, his senses in the devotional service. So here, Lord can be served by any ingredient, even the most common commodity, a leaf, a fruit, or little water, which are available in any part of the universe without any cost. See how much easy it is for. It is possible for all the living entities. And simply hearing, this is very easy. We do not have to pay at all. It is also unconsciously doing our activities, but giving our ears, give the attention to the Krishna Katha. This is Yech Krishna Kathamritam. And if we are not hearing that, they are just yesterday I was looking into one of the shloka that Kapil Bhagavan is speaking to Devhuti Mata. So that one where he says people who hear which is not Krishna Katha, it is just like a Purisham, that is like a stool, and the people are compared like a with Bujaha, like a um, pigs. So likewise, it is mentioned. Just if it is not Krishna Katha and it is taking away from the Krishna and not follow, taking away from Krishna means from Krishna's instructions or anything else. All Krishna's instructions or Krishna's lotus feet or devotional service, anything, all Krishna, it is taking away far away from Krishna. That is like a Purisham, Iva with Bujaha. It is compared like that. So we should be very alert at every moment what we are talking, what we are doing, and everything. Are we dovetailing in Krishna? Are we with the devotees? That is, always we need to be like that. And in the mind, we should not have any duplicity. We speak and we do everything in dovetailing with Krishna only. Okay, so that is that paragraph. Can I request other devotee to read further? Gauriya Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes. From there, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, from here.
Okay. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that one can serve the Lord by offering the result of one's own work. It does not matter what one does. Generally, men may say that whatever they are doing is inspired by God, but that is not all. One should actually work on behalf of God as a servant of God. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 9.27, Yat karosi yat asnasi yaz juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tatkuru tatkurusva mada arpanam. Do whatever you like or whatever may be easier for you to do. Eat whatever you may eat. Sacrifice whatever you can sacrifice. Give whatever you may give in charity, and do whatever you may undertake in penance. But everything must be done for him only. If you do business for, or if you accept some employment, do so on behalf of the Lord. Whatever you may eat, you may offer the same to the Lord and be assured that he will return the food after eating it himself. He is the complete well, and therefore whatever he may eat as offered by the devotee is accepted because of the devotee's love. But again, it is written as prasada for the devotee so that he can be happy be eating. In other words, be a servant of God and live peacefully in that consciousness, ultimately returning home back to Godhead. It is
Hare Krishna.
said in okay, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here again, Prabhupada bringing from Bhagavad Gita. So whatever we do, everything needs to be offered as an offering to Krishna. Yat karosi, yat dasnasi, whatever activity, karosi, yat dasnasi, and whatever we wanted to give as a prasadam, and yat juhosi, and yat dadasi, yat, and give everything, yat tapasvasi, and also tapasya, whatever the austerities and penances we do, yat tapasvasi, kaunteya, son of Kunti, and Tat Kurushva Madarpanam, and do as an offering to me, Mad Arpanam to me, and that way he will attain the perfection of human life. He is not attachment to the any good or bad, good results or bad results, or friend or enemy. He doesn't see any difference at all. Only he sees Krishna in every living entity. This is Manasaitani Bhutani Pranamid Bahumanayan, and living respect all the living entities, and Arhe Dan Manabhyam, Arhe Dan Manabhyam, by giving charity, by respecting everyone. Arhe Dan Manabhyam, Maino Bhinna Darshinaha, even though their bodies are different, and still we have to respect. Even if there is insect, it has got its own ego, it has got its own privacy, it has got its own freedom. We have to still respect it. It doesn't matter if we see that we have got human body, I am able to kill this insect, means we are bound by the material law or the divine law. Will be punished too. We are liable to get punishment. So we should not. So Kapil Bhagavan says, Arhe Danamanabhyam Maino Binna Darshanaha. That way they will offer an offering to me. and they will respect me. Because I am situated in all the living entities. Ishvaro Jiva Kalaya Pravishto Bhagavan. So he is in the Pravishto Bhagavan. He is entering into all the living entities. Ishvaro Jiva Kalaya. So likewise, we need to see the Lord in everywhere. Whatever we do, whatever we eat, everything is an offering to the Lord. Then only we live peacefully in that consciousness, ultimately returning home back to Godhead. Thank you so much, Mataji. Can I request other devotee to take a turn?
Shall I, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. It is said in the Skanda Purana, Yashya smrityascha namuktya tapo yatna kriyadishu nunan sampurnatam iti sadhyo vande tamuchyatam. I offer my obeisances unto him, the infallible, because simply by either remembering him or vibrating his holy name, one can attain the perfection of all penances, sacrifices, or fruitive activities, and the process can be universally followed. It is rejoined Bhagavad Gita 2.3.10. Not Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Akama sarvakar nova muksha kama udara dihi tivrena balati yogena yajeta purusam param. Though a person be full of desire or have no desires, he may follow the path of infallible bhakti yoga for complete perfection. One need not be anxious to palpitate each and every demigod. Propitiate each and every demigods and goddess, because the root of all of them is the personality of Godhead. As by pouring water on the root of the tree, one serves the enlivens all the branches and leaves. So by rendering service unto the Supreme Lord, one automatically serves every god and goddess without extraneous effort. The Lord is all-pervading, and therefore service unto him is also all-pervading. This fact is corroborated and in the Skanda Purana as follows.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here, again, Prabhupada is bringing from the Skanda Purana a couple of verses. So this is the Yasya Smrityacha Namokya Tapo Yajna Kriyadishu. Every Tapa Yajna Kriya Adishu. Everything, all the austerities. Nunam Sampurnatam Yeti. Sajjo Vandetam Achyutam. So that is the perfection. So unless we offer all these things to Krishna, we don't get the perfection. And here there is the perfection of all penances, sacrifices, or fruitful activities. So just by simply remembering in all these things, process can be this is everyone can follow this process. And Prabhupada is giving another from Bhagavatam, Akama Sarakamo Moksha Kama Udarati Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusham Param. Either one has got desires or no desires or moksha desire, everything, then he can perform Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusham Param. He perform Bhakti Yoga for the satisfaction of the Purusha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who he accepted this Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara as the three deities, Gunabhimanu, Devaha, Gunabhimanu, Devaha, Sargadishu api Yadvaya. So, but still, even though he accepted these forms, and they are, because they are different for the material affairs. They are bound by this material world to perform their activities. But at Vishnu, he is always free. Sujamit Aniktoham Haro Harati Tadvashaha Vishwam Purusharupena Paripati Trishakti. But Krishna comes as a Vishnu for the maintenance of this universe, and while keeping Brahma and Shiva in his control. Haro Harati Tadvashaha Vishwam Purusharupena Paripati Trishakti. So he manages this universe in the three energies. That is, Ye Anuyugam Vattante, and also all these yugas and everything, Vashe, Etat Sacharacharam, either moving and non-moving, all these things, everything under the fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything is running. So that's why one automatically serves every god, goddess without extraneous effort if he simply renders devotional service. So that is the ultimately bringing to Krishna only. Lord is all pervading, therefore service unto him is all pervading. That fact is corroborated in the Skanda Purana. So further, can I request another devotee to take that turn?
Hare Krishna, can I
Yes, Mataji, please.
just look? Sorry, just
So this was Mas Archite Devadevi. You're unmute, Mataji.
I mute, sorry. अच्युते देवा देवस शङ्खचक्र गदाधार अच्युतः सर्वदेवा सूर्य सर्व यतः सर्वगतो हरिः. When the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead who carries in his hand a counsel, wheel, club, and lotus flower is worshipped. Certainly, all other demigods are worshipped automatically because Hari, the personality of Godhead, is all preventing. Therefore, in all cases, namely nominative, objective, causative, dative, ablative, possessive, and supportive. Everyone in benefit by such transcendental loving service to the Lord. The man who worships the Lord himself who is worshipped. The cause for which the Lord is worshipped, the, the source of all supply, the place where such worship is done extra. Everything is benefited by such an action. Even during the
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here Prabhupada is mentioning, so all pervading, giving the different kinds of expansions, that is all cases, nominative, objective, causative, dative, ablative, possessive, and supportive. Everyone is benefited by such transcendental loving service to the Lord. So here, when we know about the all pervading, as a human, we have got so many defects. We don't know how to pray to the Lord. When we come to the scriptures, they give all in 360 degrees. We don't miss anything. And we don't make any mistakes when we approach the Shastras and offer our prayers. Otherwise, if you use our little brain or little tongue, then it may have got defective thing. But still, Krishna sees the heart, how much a pure heart he is offering prayers to me. And also approaching any kinds of desires. We also, if I ask any desires, तथा सचाहं परिवोढकामः समानशीलं गृहमेधदेनुम् उपेहिवान्मूलम् अशेषमूलं दुराशयः काम दुगाङ्ग्रिपस्य. This is asking desires to the Lord is not a bad thing, but here how we approach. So for example, Kadma Prajapati, to get married and to get a wife, he is offering his prayers. When we take such kind of prayer, the prayer contains what we also not fall down, and at the same time we are the keeping lotus feet of Krishna, and at the same time fulfilling the desire of material at that moment, anything like material desire. तथा स चाहं परिवोढकामः समानशीलं गृहमेदिदेनुम् उपेयवान्मूलम् अशेषमूलं दुरासह्यकाम दुगाङ्घ्रिपस्य. See, he is glorifying the Lord in such a way, and at the same time, he is also desiring for a material desire to get a good wife to carry out his marriage life, so that to fulfill his father's instruction. His father asked, just go and expand the progeny. Kadam Prajapati. So this is all pervading Lord. We need to take from the scriptures, like if we do any recitations, take all the prayers. We don't have to, if we are good enough in the composing all these verses, we can do that one. But when we are completely purified, then everything will come into perfectness. Even though we don't know all the grammar and everything, then it will come perfectly. So, but here Prabhupada is further saying, such worship is done, everything is benefited by such an action. So, again, devotional service is the ultimate thing. So, this is getting proper conviction to execute devotional service without any mistakes, without any illusion, without any imperfectness, covering in all directions. So that is the complete 360-degree circle. Okay, then, so can I request other devotee to take a turn for the next? Sanchita Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna, Baba, I can do that. Even during the annihilation of the material world, the process of Bhakti Yoga can be applied. Kalena nashta pralayate vaniyam. The Lord is worshipped in the devastation because he protects the Vedas from being annihilated. He is worshipped in every millennium or yuga. As it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam 12.3.52, Krite yadhayato vishnum tretayam yajato makhaihi द्वापेरे परिचार्यायं कालौ तद्धरि कीर्तनात्. In the Vishnu Purana, it is written, Sahanistan mahachidram samohah sacha vibhramah yad muhurtam shanam vapi Vasudevam na chintayet. Even if for a moment remembrance of Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is missed, that is the greatest loss, that is the greatest illusion, and that is the greatest anomaly. The Lord can be worshipped in any stages of life. In all stages of life. For instance, even in the womb of their mothers, Maharaj Prahlad and Maharaj Parikshit worshipped the Lord. Even in his very childhood, at the age of only 5, Dhruva Maharaj worshipped the Lord. Even in full youth, Maharaj Ambarisha worshipped the Lord. And even at the last stage of his frustration and the old age, Maharaj Dhritarashtra worshipped the Lord. Ajamil worshipped the Lord even at the point of death, and Chitraketu worshipped the Lord even in heaven and in hell. In the Narasimha Purana, it is said that as the hellish inhabitants began to chant the holy name of the Lord, they began to be elevated from hell towards heaven. Durvasa Muni has also supported this view. Muchyetayan namni udite narakopi. Simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, the inhabitants of hell become released from their hellish persecution. So the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam, as given by Sukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit, is Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So here again, Prabhupada is bringing from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Krutayad Jayito Vishnu. So that is always remembering the Lord. Tretayam Yajito Makaihi. In the Treta Yuga, they used to perform yajnas. Yajito Makaihi. All these yajnas and kratus and yagas. Dwapare Paricharyayam. And this is the uh, deity worship. In the Dwapare Paricharyayam. Kalau tad Harihi Kirtanat. In the Kali Yuga, tad Hari Kirtanat. Just only glorifying the Lord. This is the Kali Yuga Dharma. Harinama Sankirtana Yajna. This is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. इति षोडशकं नाम कलिकल्मषनाशकं नातः परतः उपायः सर्ववेदेषु दृश्यते that is kalotad harihi kirtanat. That is, and also Prabhupada bringing from the Vishnu Purana. So this is sa hanishtam mahachidram samohah sach vibramah Anyan muhurtam kshanamapi vasudevam na chintaye. So that is the beauty of it. So one has to always remember Krishna in all times and circumstances. Remembrance of Vasudeva. And even just for a moment, if we lose not remembering Krishna, then it is the greatest illusion. See, that is the greatest illusion. If we just forget for Krishna for a moment, that is the greatest anomaly. Mistake. We need to remember Krishna. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu maham manusmara idyacha mayarpita manobuddhir mam evaishesi asamsayaha. Then one can go to Krishna without any doubt. That is very, very beautiful verse. Here is a even for a moment remembrance of Vasudeva is missed. Say that is the greatest loss. How is such a powerful statement? Lord can be worshipped in all stages of life. Even we cannot, through the mind also we speak. We glorify the Lord. We hear. Yatyetanam yasmaranam yadikshanam yadvandanam yashravanam yadarhanam lokasya sadhyo vidnosha kalmasham tasmai subhadrasravase namo namaha. See, just by yatyetanam yasmaranam yadvandanam yashravanam yadarhanam, all these things, yadikshanam, it can be performed. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasim, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. All the 9 process of devotional service. Any one of it can be done in all circumstances. Hearing is very easy then. Mind, through the mind, it is more powerful than anything else. Even though all body parts doesn't work, still mind works, which is all Yat Sankalpa Vikalpabhyam. And even the baby in the womb, he also does tasyopasannam avitam jagadichayata nana tanur bhuvichala charanaravindam soham rajami saranam yakuto bhayam me yene drusi gatiradarsi asadonurupa. The baby in the womb, when he got consciousness, what is yatra labdha smriti dhaivat, when by the mercy of the Lord karma janma setodbhavam, he remembers hundreds of past times of his previous births. He remembers and then he offers his prayers to the Lord. And Soham Rajami Saranam Hekuto Bhayam me. O my Lord, I am offering my prayers. I am taking shelter at your lotus feet. And he mentions Aste Vishuddham Avikaram Akandabhodam Ataptamanu Hrudaye Avisitam Namami. The Lord is existed in the heart, and who is next to me in the womb? And I'm offering, I'm Ataptamana Hrudaye. I'm very tormented because of Brushatapta Deha. I'm in the womb and getting so much of torture here. Jataragni Nasruk, Vinmutru Kopapatito. Due to the hot blood, it is touching me and it is also painful. And that is Jataragni Nasruk. And Jataragni is there in the tummy of my mother. And whenever if my mother eats the Katu Tikshna Vushna Lavana Ruksha Amladibihi Vulbanaihi, if she eats the bitter ones and the salty ones or spicy ones, And what are the things? Then I get tormented here. Matrubuktaihi upasprustaha sarvango uttita vedanaha. My mother wanted to eat the salty things, but I am getting it. My body parts are very painful. Sarvango uttita vedanaha. He suffers all these things just because mother wanted to eat the spicy things. Whether mother is going to control it, again depends on the consciousness. So likewise, the baby suffers and he offers his prayers in the womb. And here, Parikshit Maharaj, he was also, as soon as he sees the Lord, Angusta Matra Mamalam, Spurat Purata Maulina, immediately he offered his obeisances to the Lord. And after that, even though he is Vishnu Rata, he was protected by Vishnu. As soon as he came out, he was trying to observe where is that Lord. That's why he got Parikshit. His name became Parikshit, that he is the observer. Where is that Lord? And Maharaja Prahlada, he is also always remembering Krishna Katha. That is the desire. What happens when we are in the devotees association only? We can always hear and remember the Lord every moment. We don't even live without a moment. Otherwise, it is the greatest illusion, greatest loss. It doesn't matter if one devotee is good or not good, or different conceptions of the devotees. Everyone are different rasas. That is the mellows of the devotee. We should not. Uh, we have to release our own mood with the Lord and taking the devotees association. We should not fault find any other devotees and not oversee all the devotees. That is the Vaishnava quality. Oversee all the faults of a Vaishnava devotee. Then only our bhakti will be progressed further. Otherwise, it will torment our devotional service. Vaishnava, that is also one good quality. Never find faults with others. And either way, either good or bad, stay with the devotees, stay in the same path, keep our journey. If we feel something like that, still stay with the devotees. And then in due course of time, everything will be um, Samanvete Satvanam Bhagavan Atmamaya. The Lord is going to give the answers to all the questions that you have got. He will reveal it. We have to see that moment. Do not leave. All the time, it doesn't matter. Stay with the devotees. So that is the very, very important thing. And then here all the devotees, that's why, because in the devotees association, they're always remembering and glorifying every moment, either in the heaven, Diviva, Bhuviva, Mamastu Vaso, Nadakeva, Nadakantaka Prakamam, Avadhirita Saradhara Vindau, Charanaute, Marineya Pichintayami. It doesn't matter, even though the death is going to take place, but I have to keep myself at the lotus feet of the Lord, either in the hell or heaven. Always glorify the Lord, remember the Lord. Chant the holy names of the Lord all the time. That is required. Prabhupada is stressing again and again here. And also Durvasa Muni also supported this view. Muchite yannamni udite narakopi udito narako api. So just simply chanting the holy name of the Lord, inhabitants of hell became released from their hellish persecution. So that is the very beautiful things every moment we have to remember. So can I request other devotee, Malati Mataji, would you like to read a last bit so that we shall stop here? So
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Itam nirvidyamanam ichatam aktu vayam yoginam narapanirmitam harare namanukirtanam. O King, it is finally decided that everyone, namely those in the renounced order of life, the mystic and the enjoyer of the fruitative work, should chant the holy name of the Lord fearlessly to achieve the desired success in their persist.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So we shall, we are already time up. So just wanted all the devotees to take the share to read some part of it. So there is further instructions, but we would like to cover that one in the next session. There are many important things, and then we will end that part. So for now, here Prabhupada has bring another verse. So this is again Sukadeva Goswami seeking to Parikshit Maharaj. Etan nirvidyamanaanam ichitam akuto bhayam yoginam rupa nirnitam harehe namanukirtanam. This we have already passed this verse in the morning sessions. Etan nirvidyamana. Etan nirvidyamananam ichitam akuto bhayam. Akuto bhayam is one free from all kinds of material anxieties, tapatriyas. Ichitam. And also if he has got any of these enjoyers of the fruitive work. And yoginam, and also whoever is performing to connect to the Supreme Lord by their austerities and penances. Drupa nirnitam, and O king, it is decided by that is the Harehe Nama Anukirtanam, always glorifying Krishna's names. Should chant the holy name of the Lord fearlessly to achieve the desired success in their pursuits. That is the ultimate thing. Very beautifully explained, Srila Prabhupada in this purport for the fourth shloka of Chatushloki Bhagavata. So the highlight of this one is even for a moment, remembrance of Vasudeva, the Supreme Personal, is missed. That is the greatest loss, that is the greatest illusion and greatest anomaly. Very powerful statement. So I stop here, and dear devotees, I kindly request to share your any questions or any you wanted to add anything to this purports, any comments, kindly share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice slok. So much you can take from this. This my question is like, we are Prabhupada said anything you do, give it to the Krishna, and so if you are employees, do for him. So how we can know that we are doing for him, working or business? How we can say that I'm doing for him?
So one thing is our activities can be seen through our actions and the words and the mind. In the three levels we experience these things. Whenever we act using our body, am I going to the temple? I am serving to the devotees. That one activities which would override the mind and the words, the speaking. When we engage our body, we don't know how to think of the Lord, then we speak of the Lord. And if we don't know how to speak to the Lord, glorify the Lord, then we engage our body. That will override because you are engaging. But that needs to be steady in due course of time. That way, our words will become pure, our mind will become pure, like that. So that is the very material level. Engage our body. Am I engaging my body all the time in the devotional service? If I don't have a chance to engage my body, okay, now am I speaking and glorifying the Lord? That is the next level. So it may not be possible for everyone to serve the spiritual master or Vaishnavas directly, but next level is the speaking and glorifying the Lord. Is the Kantena swara gadgadena baddena anjalina natena sirasa sarma mudgamaihi Kantena swara gadgadena nainena udgina bashpambhuna. Am I doing all these things? Am I speaking the anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priya hitam chayat? And am I using my words? That is the second level. Or am I engaging myself in engaging in the speaking of Gramya Katha? Gramya Katha Nirvut Gramya Dharma Nivrittisha. That one has to renounce completely. Asat Sangat Chagi. Completely leave from the Asat Sangha. That is the second thing. We don't speak anything which is not Krishna, not from the scriptures. We always speak Shastra only. Even though sometimes it appears it may be older, it may be uh, But still, we speak only the Shastras because Shastras are there effulgent. They are applicable in all time and circumstances. There is no time that we can avoid the Shastras. We speak all times. But if I am speaking on my own strength and stood up for something and performing something, today I have got some energy and do it, but tomorrow some other problem is dragging me. I cannot stood. For example, I wanted to support one devotee. What happens? Today I can support, I can raise voice and do it, but tomorrow my body may not support me. My family may not be support me to speak or stood. And at the time, do I have got the same ability to do it? So that's why we have to take shelter of lotus feet of the Lord and pray to the Lord. He is always looking at us. With that one, because he is always watching, he can do it on behalf of us when we pray. If we straight away engage by ourselves, then what happens? Today we have got energy, today we have got everything, all the strength, and all this voice and body, everything. But tomorrow, some other problem will drag us. Though we want to do it, we can't do it. At the time, what happens? So that is the imperfectness that we have to take only shelter of the scriptures, Krishna's lotus feet. Pray to the Lord, and all of there is no fault finding from anyone at all. Everything is going on, but it is every individual's journey within. But even there are so many horrible things happen, but we have to oversee those things. What is my duty right now? Am I missing? Missing a moment is a greatest loss. But everyone in their own journey. But for our material eyes, we don't know what is happening. Or our material mind, we don't know whether we are doing right or not. And it thinks that some other people are doing or right or not right. We cannot imagine like that. That is, it's mental Manas we know this is the mental speculation. We cannot trust our mind. So we have all the time engage our words, engage our body, and then later on it comes to the mind. Engaging the mind in the Krishna service, it is the most subtle form. It can be happening at the Antakale Chamam Eva, Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhavam Chajichinte Kalevaram. At that time, we need to remember all these practices train the mind like that. When mind is like that, then all these material things, everything will be wound up. That means it is just an optional. Again, what is optional means um, we have to engage all this mind, the words, and devotional service in Krishna service in all times and circumstances. Sometimes it may not be possible to engage the body. Sometimes it is not possible to speak. But mind can be always at certain level. It can be engaged. That is why I say it is the optional for the body and mind, body and the words. Sometimes we don't get chance to speak sometimes. So likewise, every moment, uh, for how does that determination comes? You every day sit in front of Bhagavatam, read one chapter and glorify, take one prayers and recite every day. At least one prayers of uh, Sutta Goswami, take second or third chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, recite. And take the Bhishma prayers, recite. Take um, Kunti Devi prayers, recite. At least for a month. Take one prayers, you will remember those words again and again and again. Dharana. That dharana, it will be purifying our mind. And you will also at the same time remember, and you do not speak anything which is out of the scriptures at all. That's why we have to recite the verses, recite the verses, recite the verses again and again, again and again and again and again. Those verses inclusive of Krishna's Uttama Shloka Vartaya, glorifying the Lord. Anyonyamasit Sanjalpa Uttama Shloka Chetasam Kauravendra Purastritnam Sarvasruti Manoharaha. Always talk about only Krishna. So Kauravendra Purastrinam, all these women, they are talking about Krishna. They are Sarvasruti Manoharaha. They are surpassing even the Vedas. And how Anyonyam Asit and all sitting together, Anyonyam, cooperating each other. Uttama Shloka Vartaya. For what? To discuss about Uttama Shloka Vartaya, about Krishna. That is very, very important. That is needed. We don't speak anything which is something not Krishna consciousness. We don't fault find anyone. And we have to admit our inability all the times. We can't do it anything. We have to admit and then sit in front of Bhagavatam and do it. Sometimes family may not be supporting or we don't have enough time. When we don't have enough time, it is not possible to do anything at all. Talk. That in such a way we have to make the life. Even to chant, we don't find the time. But still we have to wake up and by the loss of sleep, we have to chant. When we are doing like that, then we stop all the unnecessary talks. Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Hare Krishna, I really love this reading this morning. It's so simple, easy messages for us to practice properly. As you say, it can be done despite lack of support from family or anybody around you. Mirabai proved it. However, we don't have to suffer that, go to that length of suffering. I think, as you say, the analogy about the devotee that channel his mind so purely on Krishna's feet and thought about him every moment when he burnt his finger in his imagination, and it's such a good example, and I think I can take that home with me. It's beautiful. Imagine and as you say, use the moment to do fruitive activities, read the Bhagavatam, sit and get the nectar of it. All that you're channeling your mind in such a beautiful place. It does help you to steady yourself and think of Krishna, which is the key thing that comes out today. Offer everything to Krishna. Think about Krishna, serving him through your mind, as we were talking about serving Krishna prasadam last night. I think that qualifies it beautifully. Thank you, Prabhuji, for this amazing session. You take your time to explain everything so clearly. We can't go away with nothing. I'm sure everybody's taking something home today. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. The same thing like Brahma also we see Pundarika Vidyanidhi. He also in his dream, in the daytime he was trying to fall fine with some other Brahmana with decorating the deities and dresses, something like that. And in the night time, the Lord came in his dream and then do a big slaps too. And then in the morning, when he woke up in the sleep, and then he sees that there is we see that pastime. That is also one of the example how one can associate with the Lord in the mind, worship the Lord in the mind.
Haribol, wonderful, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Any other additions, dear devotees, or questions? Sanchita Mataji, Malati Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu, for this wonderful class. Like Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavatam is always so nectarian, especially the Chatusloki Bhagavatam. I mean, how these are like so compact and rooted, and they open the entire Bhagavatam. Everything that is explained in the Bhagavatam starts from this Chatushlok. It's wonderful. Like just when we try to understand that how Lord has done this, like from the seed mantra Om, and then the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, and the entire Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, everything like worshipping, how we can worship, how we can remember, and all those little things. I mean, and Prabhupada, he has taken so much time to write this big purport for the last shloka. So it's like, as Mataji mentioned, we cannot go without having something. There's so much to take from here. Thank you. And thank you, Prabhu, for taking your time, giving us the opportunity to share and then speak, and then explaining everything so nicely. So Hari Bol. So in that note, let's all say 3 loud Hari Bols to Prabhu for his wonderful class. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. I think the key of it for us to dig deeper is you giving us the opportunity to partake and read it. It really helps so much because it reinforces the meaning. When you explain it, we can pick it up what we've read. It's wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. It is all with your association. I also read, I also study. I am also parallelly. It is a journey, all of our journey going parallelly. So yes.
But you never give up. You know, you don't go absent. You come every time. Some of us go absent. We do this, we do that. You are so consistent. That's the key. And we're followers. I know we're not regular followers. We're not really committed in the sense that we come every day like you do. You're there first thing in the morning. You never give up. The continuity is top class, and the commitment. Thank you so much. We can't. I mean, this has been the most amazing group that I've ever been to because of you. You never say, "Oh, I'm not feeling well today. No class." It's never been the case, and it's so appreciative by all of us, I'm sure. So thank you, Haribol.
Hare Krishna. It is Saurav Prabhuji. His service. So ask her to do it. So just carrying out his orders. So just as simple as that. We don't have anything. So Lord is making us to carry out that part, to carry out our duties. That's all. And apart from that, devotees, or whenever pure devotees are here, then we feel to render service to them. That is the only motto.
Well, you are following Prabhupada's footstep, which is brilliant. Thank you, Prabhu. You're going to be the next Mahajan. Krishna. Haribol. Sorry, I am elated with this service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for your kind words.
Prabhu, we liked this, when you read the normal one shloka, which of the Bhagavatam, the picture of the Virat Roop that you shared, like that was so nice, like how you took extra efforts to go through more reading and then sharing. Like we have never seen this picture before, so I mean to visualize like the planets and the different lokas, it was amazing. So that was a big takeaway for today as well. Thank you so much for that as well.
Are you able to share this, Prabhu, this one? Because I know you share a lot of the planetary system before, but as Mataji said, we haven't seen it before.
Yes, Mataji, I shall share this one.
Beautiful, yes. It's so easy to follow when you see a picture, visually
Yes.
it is amazing, yeah.
That's true, Mataji. Yeah, sometimes the scriptures, like for fallen souls like us, it's sometimes we take, but it gets out. But when we see the picture, especially in Lord's eyes and mouth, how nice the mouth is a fire and the eyes are day and night and all that, they remain with us. So that's like,
yeah, that's right. It is so good because I have always avoided this planetary system since I was young. I didn't want to know because it's so confusing to me. But when I see these pictures and the layout you showed us previously, it made me got attracted to it and I want to know more. But although it's still confusing to me, I am really not like your culture. I suppose you delved in it before. I've never had the opportunity. So to me, at my age, is so new, and I would never be able to catch up. But I get a basic understanding will be helpful for me. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
And seeing this picture, Prabhu, I just wanted to share. I know most of us know, but like when we do, Lord's mouth is the fire. So that I learned like from some devotee, I think I was hearing lecture that when we do a yagya, like a fire sacrifice or something, and then we say a mantra or whatever, it was done, like Putramedha Yagya, Ashwamedha Yagya, and different types of Yagya, Rajsuya Yagya, and also basically when the mantra is said and say Swaha at the end, so we're basically making that request and it's Lord's mouth, so He's accepting our whatever we are giving, like for the yagya, for different yagyas, there are different samagris and all needed. So all that, when it's put in the Havan Kund, like with Swaha, so it's like Lord is directly taking in his mouth. So that's why, yagyas are done and the very powerful. People do even to remove negative energy from the house and all, different kind of yagyas. When they buy a new house, then they would do yagyas and also fire sacrifice. So all these, Lord takes everything. So when we say take away the negative energy, so Lord will suck that in. So that's something beautiful I learned. I wanted to share.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, that is Sraktundise Asisruvishanaashyoho Idudare Chamasaha Kannadandre Prasithyamase Grahne Grahastute Yacharavanamte Bhagavan Agnihotram Yacharavanamte Bhagavan Agnihotram, and his chewing, it is Bhagavan Agnihotram. That is the mouth. So that is, thank you so much, Mataji, for remembering those pastimes. That is Yajnapurush. Thank you so much. Any other comments, or we shall conclude our session and continue with further japa? Okay, thank you so much, all the devotees, for kindly giving your time and helping all of us. This is, it is also mentioned, every moment of devotees association, it is not even comparable to the liberation itself. Thank you so much for giving your time for Srimad Bhagavatam. Keeping that in mind, we shall conclude our session. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Krishna, thank you, Mataji. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद।